Hello and welcome all committee members, global Ardbegians, friends, family, household pets, people lost in the world of YouTube. Hello and welcome to our first ever Ardbeg Committee AGM. We are virtual this year, as I think we've all got used to, but a warm welcome to you all, and I'm sure as things start to improve around the world, we'll be back meeting in person soon. I am joined today by Jackie, and together we will be running through everything that's happening Isla aside. We'll be tasting some Ardbeg, of course, revealing what's to come on the whisky front, and bringing you a rather large announcement about the committee. The official agenda for our first ever virtual AGM is as follows. We are going to start with a committee announcement. We will talk a bit about a bottling sneak preview. We've got a global news report, what's happening around the world. Then we'll taste the Trivan Batch 3 that's recently released. Distillery happenings and a bit of goings on at the site. Then we'll take questions and close off the meeting. Just before we go on, I just want to make a few hellos. We've got loads of people dialing in from around the world, and there's so many people on, it's quite incredible. So just hellos to Andy in Virginia, Matthias in Egypt, Tero in Finland, Paul in Brussels, Nate in Zambia, Claudia in Bavaria, Mika in Birmingham, Alabama, Rudy in Denmark, Patrick from Stuttgart, Joseph from California, Jens in Hamburg, Frederick in Sweden, Gerrit in the Netherlands, excuse me, Suzanne in Australia, Federico in Italy, Sumit in India, Martin in London, Sunit in Bulgaria, Grimgav in Russia, Masa in Japan, and everyone else that's joined us. Thank you.
That is fantastic. Absolutely amazing. I don't know what countries aren't represented there, but hey everyone, an AGM, our first, would not be an AGM without your participation. We want your burning comments and your questions, which we'll try really hard to answer at the end of the AGM. What more is there to say? I'm so glad you're tuning in. We're so excited. So without further ado, pour yourself a dram, relax, and let's get on with it.
Despite Mickey's retirement last year, he has continued up to now as our esteemed Ardbeg Committee Chairman. However, the time has come for him to hang up his committee cap and pass on the position to somebody new, which meant the next challenge for us was going out there and finding someone, a suitable candidate to fill his boots. And right through the site, from the warehouse to the still house, from the O down to Portellin, we searched high and low for the next Ardbegian to take up the mantle. But there could only be one person, and I'm actually delighted to say they're sitting here with me. As of today, Jackie will assume the role as Ardbeg's committee chair. Now, nobody needs to remind me that Jackie's up to the task, but before we hear the first official address from our new chair, let's have a look back at some of Jackie's finest moments under the Ardbeg banner. Let's have a look.
We in the fast lane, taking up the runway, no slowing down or stopping from Monday through to Sunday. It's 'cause we work hard, yeah, you know we in charge, ready for the jump start, checking up that punch card. Feeling so strong and independent that I forget to mention the journey is ascending. It's got to keep it standing. We doing it and landing, you know we got the answers. Just keep on with your head in the zone. Now are you coming with me? Just keep on, you won't go it alone. Now are you coming with me? We on the up now. See us coming, now you never come down. Yeah, we on the up now. Nothing gonna stop us, never come down. Come on, come with me. Come on, come with me. Come on, come with me. We taking chances, wishes to be granted. Not going empty-handed, legit we still expanding. We always stay strong, so if you wanna jump on, get into the rhythm and you won't wanna get gone. Feeling on top because we earned it, and yes we can confirm it.
Fantastic. What a unbelievable career at Ardbeg. Congratulations, Jackie. Absolutely brilliant. Our departing chairman, Mickey, has asked me to read out a few congratulatory words to Jackie on her new post, so I'll read straight off the card. He says, as if you didn't have enough on your plate already, congratulations, Jackie. We all know how hard you work, and there's nobody more deserving of the honour. Leading the Ardbeg committee is all about having fun and celebrating the whisky, and for as long as I've known you, you've always been the heart and soul of the party. I'm sure you'll take to the role like a duck to water. The last year has passed so quickly. I've been hiking and working in the garden, and it's tough to pry me away from the fishing rod these days. However, there's always a wee Ardbeg at the end of the day to ease the aching bones or when the fish don't bite. I hope Colin is settling in well to his life at Ardbeg, and you enjoy everything your new role as chair has to offer. I know there's lots of exciting whisky waiting in the wings, so be sure to save me a few bottles. Best wishes and good luck, Mickey. Massive congratulations, Jackie. Personally, I'd just like to second that from Mickey. I couldn't think of anyone more deserving, and you are everything that is special and important about Ardbeg and to the fans and the committee worldwide. So congratulations. And I will now hand over to you as our new committee chair for your first official address.
Wow. The first time I saw that, it was quite emotional. And all I can say is an absolute wow. Thank you, Mickey. We miss you. And Colin, we've welcomed you so warmly to the distillery, and we're going to have loads of fun going forward. First of all, I guess I have to say that I'm honoured, I'm chuffed, I'm touched that I am now installed as your committee chair. Since the opening of the distillery way back a couple of decades ago, and since the inception of the committee in the year 2000, my goodness, what fun we've had. You've provided me with so many great memories. Ardbeg Day shenanigans. Where else do you dress up as mermaids and hippies and go for midnight tours, taking you on hikes to the water source, serving you lunch in the Old Kiln Cafe with my wonderful team. It has been an absolute blast. Even the little interactions on a daily basis at the visitor centre with all you committee members have been very, very, very special. And to all the teams I've worked with over the years, and there have been so many of them, all of the people that have worked at the visitor centre have shaped the visitor centre experience for all you committee members. And there's lots more to come. So, no pressure. I'm not feeling any pressure, Colin, in any way, shape or form. But somebody asked me recently what qualities a committee chair should actually have. And that was when they interviewed me for the post. They didn't interview me. But it's about respect, I think. So much respect, two-way respect. You know, this is all about having fun, but making something which is of a fantastic quality. Any committee chair should be fair, open-minded, a little bit courageous, and occasionally we've had to have a bit of courage. And there's also something in being ever so slightly crazy. I'm sure nobody would ever concur with that who's met me, but I'm going to toast myself. Excavated from a peat bog many, many centuries ago, I'm just going to give myself, do you mind if
Please,
I have a wee dram?
Absolutely.
Just to celebrate my chairmanship? Excuse me.
But
Careful not to dribble. Not just now, not as the chair. To me, being part of this tribe is all about elevating the spirit. We share a really strong bond. You've found in your last year who paints their houses Ardbeg green, who calls their cat Corrie Brecken, who has Ardbeg tattoos. Michty me, it's the committee. And we should be doing as much as possible to bring everyone together and into this fold. It's important to me that the conversation's two-way. I always listen to people in the visitor centre, as does Colin. We want it to be a two-way street. We want Ardbeg, which is, I guess, always been greater than the sum of its parts, to be, there's a new chapter coming. Colin's distillery managership and my chairmanship, we want to get our malts burning as bright as they possibly can, and we want to have lots of fun. And I guess that's really what it's all about.
Oh.
And I'm chuffed to bits. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jackie. Slange, that was fantastic. Fantastic drinking out the horn there.
Thank you.
You're pro at that.
You can do it later.
So, no, brilliant. So well deserved. And after all that excitement, what about whiskey? What have we got coming up?
Well, I guess that's the reason that we are here. It is time to talk about the fundamental reason that we're all here, and that's the whiskey. So, there's always a desire within the whiskey creation team and the distillery team to create new and exciting drams at Ardbeg. It's unrelenting. It never ever stops. And we're very excited to announce that one such dram will be revealed to committee members next year. The result of a technical detail, one of the longest fermentations ever in Ardbeg history. The unique whiskey is still top secret and remains under wraps for now. But here is our esteemed Ardbeg Director of Distilling and Whiskey Creation, Dr. Bill Lumsden, who's going to talk us through a little bit of this experimental whiskey that's gone right.
Greetings, fellow Ardbegians. It's Dr. Bill Lumsden here, speaking to you for this first virtual committee AGM from the comfort of my own home outside Edinburgh. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a little story, to take you into a little secret we've got about a fabulous new Ardbeg product that we're thinking of releasing. Such an incredible story and a wonderful project, and it goes way back to the winter of 2007. And I was sitting in my laboratory one day when I got a phone call from our dear friend Mickey Heads, who of course was distillery manager at the time. And he said, "Dr. Bill, I've got a little bit of a problem here. My boiler has broken down. And of course, without a boiler, there's no steam. And without steam, there's no distillation." And Mickey said to me, he said, "Look, it's going to take nearly 3 weeks before I get a replacement part over onto the island and get it fitted." So he said, "I've got a number of washbacks sitting full of 3-day-old fermented wash. What will I do?" Now, normally, under these circumstances, if you can't distill, you actually have to dispose of the fermented wash, and you need the customs and excise in to supervise this. But I thought, that strikes me as a great shame to lose all this potential wonderful flavour. So I said, "Mickey, this is what we're going to do. I'd like you to throw the washbacks open, take the lids off, throw it open to the atmosphere, and just let all sorts of bugs come in here, and we'll just see what happens." So that's exactly what Mickey did, and we actually allowed the fermentations to continue for over 2 weeks. Now, at the end of that, it was the craziest, wackiest flavours I've ever found in Ardbeg fermented wash. Finally, the spare part for the boiler arrived, and Mickey then set about distilling the wash. So the parcels of spirit he distilled from that were again out of this world, so unique, with all these very crazy sharp flavours in there, almost slightly sour, slightly bitter-sweet. So we filled them into refill bourbon barrels, and now, many, many years later, this is the end result. So, almost instantly on the nose, I get that zesty, crazy sharpness in there. It makes me think of a combination of lime sherbet, of lemon, of cardamom pods. It's like something I've never experienced before. And on the taste, whoosh, it's really vibrant, it really wakens you up. Now, of course, it's recognisably Ardbegian because there's a lot of peat smoke in there, but there's these layers of sharpness, of sourness, just of total craziness in there. So, fellow Ardbegians, Look forward to this crazy new release. This really is an experiment which we will never repeat again, but I sincerely hope you'll join me in enjoying this when it's eventually released. So, Slàinte mhath.
Thank you, Dr. Bill. We wait with bated breath. Very exciting. We got a nose of this future release recently, and it's crazy. There's just amazing with the long fermentation, the different notes that you're picking up. So really, really exciting. Now, talking of excitement, it is now time for news from around the world.
Hello and welcome. You're watching news from the distillery and around the world with Channel 1815 News. First, dispatches from Europe.
In France, the City of Love played host to the Whisky Live Paris event on the 25th of September this year. Exhibitors and fans alike converged in the tasting hall as Ardbeg took the opportunity to reveal its major new releases and world exclusives.
Sweden revel as Ardbeg Tryvan 3 is set for release on Scandi Shores on the 7th of October. Committee member Nicholas Goldberg will be pulling on his Ardbeg leather jacket, which he wore with manager Mickey Heads in 2018 on Ardbeg Day, and joining the queue at Systembolaget. In the United Kingdom, Ardbeg's Monsters of Smoke Trio Pack hits the shelves towards the end of October. The distillery are also forewarning Ardbegians of a monstrous new tour event coming to some of the UK's major cities in the near future. Meanwhile, new committee member Andrew Birchall married his lovely girlfriend Ty last week, having proposed to her on the Ardbeg Pier after a particularly convivial warehouse tasting.
In the Netherlands and Germany, the Monsters of Smoke Trio Pack is officially on sale now. So if you're a UK committee member looking to nab a box early, dig out your passport and prepare for lengthy airport queues. As for the front page news further afield, in Australia, a new committee store has opened to members down under. The release of Ardbeg 8-year-old is happening today, and we hope it provokes lots of dramas and discussion.
Absolutely. Stateside, in the USA, the Monsters of Smoke Tour will be stopping off in Massachusetts, California, New York State, New Jersey and Nevada throughout the month of October. An Ardbeg committee member, Dwayne Large, who's had a really rough year, went to visit the tour in Carmel, Indiana. He tasted his first Ardbeg drams for a long time, ate some delicious pulled pork. We wish you well, Dwayne.
It seems Ardbeg is big in Japan too, as the release of Tryvan Batch 3 is hotly anticipated by fans the length and the breadth of the country.
News just in from South Korea. And ex-bartender at the Ardbeg Distillery Visitor Centre and committee member Sumin Oh has just opened his bar, Bar Embargo. It serves a delicious menu, sous vide rack of lamb with an Ardbeg sauce and some peculiar cocktails called the Devil's Ardbouquet and the Ardgarita. He was a great DVC member and we wish him well.
Now for the news where we are. The world-famous Old Kiln Cafe has relocated to the courtyard at Ardbeg for 2021, with an Ardstream trailer complete with wood-burning oven providing a lip-smacking new menu for visitors. Loads of fun in the sun this summer with a menu including smoked haddock chowder, beef brisket, crispy onions and blue cheese dressing in a brioche bun, black pudding, red onion marmalade and rocket pizza, and of course, clouty dumpling.
But who ate all the pies? We did. During lockdown, Ardbeg endured a brief hiatus in the welcoming of visitors to the distillery. We'd like to recognise the immense efforts of the whole team at Ardbeg. All week, locals called to order fabby meals and tasty pies from the kitchen at Ardbeg. On a Friday, the whole team would get involved, including Colin, in packing the bags, filling up the Ardbeg wee beastie van and traversing the island to deliver the goods and have a doorstep chat. Oh, this just in. Our lone Ardbeg committee member from Greenland has been located safe and well. The team here send their warmest wishes and we hope to be welcoming you to Ardbeg soon.
That's all from us now. Goodbye. Back to the studio.
wee technical glitch. Okay, moving on. It's back to the whiskey. Launched earlier this year, Tryvan Batch 3 is part of a small series of batch whiskies that we release annually. Following the footsteps of the batches that came before it, slight changes, little nuances to cask selection means that Batch 3 has evolved into a much spicier whiskey. Little differences make a huge difference in the flavour profile. The story behind this whiskey is just as unique as the spirit itself. When the global lockdown hit, the fate of Batch 3 hung in the balance precariously. Nevertheless, we vowed to capture every last drop of the stuff when the whiskey world stood still. Social distancing measures meant that we were able to release Batch 3 from its casks. Only using a one-way system, social distancing, 6 metres apart from each other, we were able to funnel out the liquid and put it in bottles. So we're going to have a wee taste. If you've got Tryvan Batch 3 in your glass, please feel free to taste along with us. And please put your thoughts in the comments, because we're hearing they're coming in thick and fast, and that's what we want. That's absolutely what we want. It's time to introduce a wee committee member to the fold. He is a great friend of Ardbeg. He's a quiet and humble man, but with a big knowledge, big brain full of whiskey and Ardbegian stuff. He likes to hike in the hills above California with rattlesnakes and lizards and all sorts of nefarious creatures, tarantulas. But he's also the instigator and starter of a wonderful website called the Ardbeg Project, which is stuffed full of information. He started it in 2005, and we defer to him in all things Ardbeg. It's the first time, I think, that Colin's going to meet Mr. Tim Pewitt. Hello, sir.
Well, hello. Nice to meet you, Colin. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Tim. Nice to hear from you. Thanks for joining us. Iconic website, the Ardbeg Project. So great to meet you in person, and no finer way to get to meet someone than share a dram of Tryvan 3.
Over a wee TB3. How are you anyway? Are you fine?
I'm doing very well. Enjoying maybe the solitude that COVID has brought us, but waiting patiently to visit all of you again and enjoy whiskey together.
Absolutely. Well, we miss you all of our committee members. But let's dive in. Come on. This is too good to miss. We've already kind of explained that with our core range, we put together a whiskey where we have a benchmark. This one we release annually, and there are differences in the flavour profile. So we've got Batch 3, Slàinte. We're going to use our equipment, and we're going to have a wee dive in to Tryvan 3. Tryvan, of course, meaning White Beach, but also Singing Sands, a beautiful place on Islay where the sand shifts and there's a beautiful music. And that beautiful music translates to a lovely, lovely nose here. What are you getting, Tim?
I get that stereotypical lime and earthiness first on the nose. Really, but really powerful yet subtle, if that makes sense. Makes sense to me. Some nuts,
bit like
mixed
myself.
nuts.
A bit like myself, Tim. Powerful but subtle. A paradox.
Yes, the perfect Jackie batch.
I think that's always the great thing with Ardbeg. I know exactly what you mean by that powerful and subtle, that incredible balance of the smoky, earthy, peaty notes, but the 19 years in a mix of ex-Oloroso and ex-bourbon casks is just, you get great richness and depth, but fruity notes, and there's vanilla there, but I know what you mean, Tim. Big citrus, that lime. Beautiful.
Slàinte, Tim. Let's have a wee tip. Oh boy.
What's good?
That characteristic kind of sea spray. It's fudgy, it's nutty. Like a
bit of zest to it.
There is, a nice effervescence. What are you thinking, Tim?
Yeah, like a salted dark chocolate, almost like a salted caramel a little bit. The sweetness comes through, it begins to last. don't want to go on to the next drink, but that's the point, right?
With a 10-year-old, I think some of the characteristics are more individual. With age, this is really integrated. There's an elegance to it, and it just kind of keeps going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a big finish. There's lots going on the tip of the tongue there.
It's
beautiful.
It's the gift that keeps giving, almost.
And that lovely anise, kind of aniseedy, licoricey, fennelly characteristic, which is really pronounced kind of on the palate, isn't it?
Aye.
Very, very tasty. Whoosh, I like it.
It's,
Well done, Dr. Lumsden.
yes.
This is
Yes.
this is his cask selection. Yeah, it's a beauty.
Do we want to? We have managed to assemble a wee Tryvan 1 and 2 beside it, because obviously there's, like you say, subtle differences, and each bottling was approved or signed off by someone at the distillery. Number 1 was Mickey, 2 was yourself, Jackie, and 3, this one we're tasting, is Bill. So I don't know whether do you want to just do a wee contrast compare, or
Let's do it. Let's do it.
have a wee nose of the number 2?
Absolutely. Number 2 was, that one was quite rich, a little bit more spicy, a little bit more oloroso. The day that I chose all these casks for the recipe, that was a hard day. It's maybe a little more refined on the palate. You've got a lot of lovely sweetness, that lovely citrus. We talk about smoky pineapple as a seam going through all of the Tryvans, particularly 1 and 2. And this one, when you grill a pineapple, you get that lovely concentration of sweetness, and it's really pronounced.
I actually see, just comparing the two, I actually get like almost a menthol note off number 2, slightly
coolness.
minty. I know obviously your nose and your taste tends to be what you tend to associate things in.
Tim, what are you thinking? Have you got a 2 there?
Yes, I have the 2. You can see that, and I agree with it. It seems very refined, almost reminiscent of the older Ardbegs. You get the tar, the campfire, but mixed in with the dark chocolate, the mint, like you mentioned. It's also very fruity, almost a bit of fruitcake.
Yeah, definitely a wee bit of fruitcake, sort of bakery, a little bit of a bakery kind of note to it. Tents, and I've made me start thinking of guide camp. Don't know, did you ever go on guide camp?
I was never invited, no.
Tents and campfires. Yeah, it's a lovely drop, lovely.
Yeah, beautiful.
Tim, do you want to lead on 1?
Sure. Yeah, so I have a 1 here. This one is much lighter on the nose. I think it's a bit of more mixed nuts for me, maybe some cashews, a tiny bit of lime, but not as pronounced in the previous, in batch 2 or 3.
It's quite interesting how lime is the predominant kind of citrus note that comes through most of them in different ways, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe a faint bit of grapefruit, but you're right.
Yeah.
Lime I associate lime with Ardbeg.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. I know what you mean with the grapefruit. There's quite an intense fruity note. It's it's definitely more pronounced just from the taste.
Yeah, the 1 I believe is a bit more reserved.
Yeah, I think it is. It is. Maybe a bit more elegance, I think, which it's a little bit more humble, quite like Mickey, actually. It kind of suits his personality.
Yes.
Do they all suit our personalities? I'm not entirely certain. Maybe you're next year, Colin. That'll be interesting to see what that one will be. Tim, just a wee aside from the Tryvan 3, and I hope you're all enjoying it if you've got some in your glass at home. It's really difficult. I think people often ask, what's your favourite whiskey? And it's a difficult one, but maybe not your favourite whiskey, but do you have a moment, I'm putting you on the spot, do you have a moment where an Ardbeg made you feel pretty good, or that you enjoyed more? So many.
I hate to say all of them make me feel pretty good, but there's 2 that kind of stick out. The the provenance that kind of gave me a wow moment. But the Renaissance, the 10-year-old cask strength from the path to peaty maturity, when I first tasted that one, I thought, man, if they could make a cask strength 10-year-old for me every year, that would be heaven. But yeah, I've not tasted an Ardbeg that I didn't like, and that's pretty good, I think, from a fan's point of view.
That's amazing from a fan's point of view. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Pewitt. We've loved having a wee chinwag with you.
Brilliant, Tim.
You'll meet the main man in person, Colin. That's Tim.
I'll look out for you,
or
Tim.
Tim and Colin, whichever. And we'll see you soon, we hope.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks,
Yeah,
Tim.
thanks for having
speaking
me.
to you.
Cheers.
Cheers, Tim. Thank you.
Chin chin.
Okay. Right, so really good to catch up with Tim there. Now, a lot of work goes into making Ardbeg. We've just obviously gone through the three try vans, and it doesn't clearly happen by magic. We've got a great team behind us that are day to day at the distillery making the spirit. Now, the Ardbeg committee we went through earlier, people from all around the world are tuned in. You guys are a global institution, and I'm sure not all of you have had the privilege of visiting us yet on Isla. So we thought we'd maybe bring some of the team to you, and we've put together a wee short home video peering into the lives of some of the Ardbeg crew in their natural habitat. Let's have a look.
Hello, welcome to Ardbeg's new filling store. This is where the warehouse team do the hardest work in the distillery. This is where we fill all these different casks with new make spirit, and also where we make up the lovely recipes.
Hello, I'm Daniel and I'm the new engineer at Ardbeg Distillery. I come from a small town in the northeast of Scotland called Low Rock and Reef, and I've come here to make sure that spirit stills never stop flowing.
Hello committee members. Nice to see you. I'm Bryony. I've been with Ardbeg for many years. I've been tour guide, analytical chemist, and now I'm our VC planner. So I do all the planning within the team. As you can see, planning, and more planning. In fact, you're keeping me from all my planning. So I'm going to get back to it, but I really hope to see you all soon. Bye.
Oh, hello. I'm Ron, Senior Tour Guide. I am very excited about the forthcoming AGM of the committee. I love taking committee members around the distillery, but one of my other jobs is looking after all the precious whisky stocks here in the warehouse, which I need to get back to right now. I've got a lot of counting to do, so you'll have to excuse me.
Hi there folks, I'm Leo, part of the Ardbeg kitchen team here. I'd like to welcome you to the lovely Ardstream trailer which we've got this year. We are working on a fantastic menu and lovely inside seating for next year, so we'd like to welcome you all back with a brand new menu next year. Right, I better stop skiving and get back to work. Nice to speak to you all.
Hello, I'm Graham Campbell. Today is the Bobby Mill's 100th birthday. Here's another 100 years.
We've met some new recruits to the distillery team and some loyal employees who've worked for decades in the mash house and still house. One of our more shy and retiring operators is Azza. Shy because he's elusive and he's never been seen on camera. And retiring? Well, because he is, next month. We wish him all the best, and here he is to say a few words. Oh, where's Azza?
Brilliant. I hope you all enjoyed that. It gives you a wee insight to some of the team at Ardbeg. We've had an unbelievably busy year. You just saw there the clip of Azza, or maybe didn't see him, as he heads into retirement, and we wish him well for it. But the new still house where that filming was done, incredible, beautiful facility, gives us double the distillation capacity, and we first ran spirit through there on the 12th of March this year. Incredible. I think we've been in there for 6 months, but a big job and crucial to the success of Ardbeg going forward. And obviously the pressure's on. We want to ensure that the spirit quality is absolutely is the #1 priority on site. So a lot of work went into ensuring that stillhouse ran well. You saw Graham Campbell there celebrating the Bobby Mills 100-year birthday. Clearly he got quite a fright when the party popper went off, but it's going strong, the Bobby Mill, and here's to another 100 years, going very well. And you also saw the new filling store that again we commissioned. It gives us a bit more capacity for disgorging casks and filling casks on site. You saw Drew in there on his bike. It's quite a length. It's an old Dunnage warehouse, part of Warehouse 9, so the boys like to use their bikes in there. And obviously you saw a piece from the Ardstream trailer, so the visitor centre, Bryony in the video and Leo in the Ardstream trailer. So the cafe has moved outside for the summer, and the shop has expanded inside. So big year, some challenges as well, a very, very dry, warm summer as well. So we have had our challenges, but the spirit continues to float at Ardbeg, and yeah, it's going absolutely brilliantly. So that's actually the last of our presentations. So it's time to jump into Q&A. So thank you for those that have sent things in. Your queries have been actually streaming into us right through this. Unfortunately, we'll not be able to get to them all, but let's have a wee look through some questions, Jackie, if you
let's go for it.
What's happening out there in the world of the committee. So first thing, there's congratulations pouring in for you. Everyone's obviously delighted, and thank to everyone for their warm wishes and best wishes for Jackie. Greatly appreciated, and I know everyone is backing you, so really, really good to see. We've got a comment, hey both, from Andrew and Ty in Edinburgh, now married.
Ah, brilliant.
So we saw a wee bit in here, I saw that earlier, so congratulations guys, great to hear from you. And the big question of the night, and a lot of debate going online about this, it's gone viral. Congratulations, Jackie. We all want to know what was in the horn.
That's for me to know and you to find out when you visit us at the distillery. Cryptic.
Very cryptic.
I'm never usually very cryptic.
The question from Laws we've got come in. I've always wanted to buy a cast strength Ardbeg. Are these special releases or are they available somewhere? Cast strength Ardbegs.
Cast strength Ardbegs?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got quite a number of cast strength Ardbegs that we've done over the years. Some of them we bottle at lower strengths, you know, and in terms of their maturation, but there's quite a lot of cast strengths out there. And we have lots of plans going forward. We've got a number of our limited edition committee releases have been at cast strength, particularly the committee releases. So look out for the white labels, usually a release in March or April, and you will be privy to that as a committee member, so join the tribe. But you know, cast strength whiskies, Ardbegs are absolutely available, and there will be more to come.
Yeah, we've got a great range of cast, and that's one of the great things about Ardbeg coming in the door. I'm a huge fan of the whisky when I took the job, and yeah, we've got a great variety of cast strength, and it's the best way to play about with your whisky. You can find your strength from there down. We've got a question coming from Martin Ashton. What has been the most popular Ardbeg Committee Special Edition whisky to date?
I think without a doubt, Dark Cove, I think, was Pinot Noir casks, wonderful, rich, fruity, sort of that umami mouthfeel. Dark Cove, it was a lovely nod and wink to the nefarious activities of the smuggling community on Islay, so it was rooted in heritage, a great story, but always it's the technical detail. And that lovely Ardbeg DNA, that smoked fish, tarry oak fishing net, citrus, with this lovely, big, rich, fruity Pinot Noir. Without a doubt, Dark Cove, hands down. And I think probably most of the team would agree with that. Yeah. And we did midnight tours.
It was a great festival day during Fish.
Was. Were you there?
I remember coming up. Yeah, certainly doing. The theme was great, smugglers and boats and rowing and all sorts of things going on in true Ardbeg style. It was a fantastic day. There's a question coming from Isabel Wanderley. I think I know the answer to this. Is there a date for Ardbeg Day 2022? There is. It's the 4th of June 2022 is the day for the Ardbeg Day at Fish, at the Whisky Festival. So we've obviously done the last two virtual, brilliantly hosted by yourself, Jackie. But
and yourself, Colin, as a knight
I know.
in shining armour.
I actually should have put that on tonight for the big announcement. But so yeah, we've got another question coming here from Molly. Well, hello there. Greetings from Miami, Florida. Would you ever consider releasing an Ardbeg Supernova that is 3 years and 1 day old? My dream whiskey. Keep up the great work, Ardbeg. What do you think, Jackie?
Hang on a second. That was who? Molly?
That's
from
yes,
California?
Yeah, Miami.
Oh, Miami. Pardon me. Sorry, Molly.
So Molly in Miami.
Molly in Miami. It's very illustrative. We'll remember that. You know, never say never. There are so many really, honestly exciting things in the pipeline. We were just in with the Whiskey Creation team a little while ago in the lab. It's a place that you don't often get to, quite a sacrosanct kind of place, and we've been in there. So Molly, you know, I like the sound of that, actually. It sounds, you know, younger smoke, right there, bang. That would be something to behold.
That's the lab you need Dr. Bill's fingerprint to get through security. I've heard of that place.
Or a lock of his hair. I used a lock of his hair.
Maybe. We've got a question from Pete and Love. Jackie, this is a two-part question actually. Jackie, what will be your first action as committee chair?
Oh my goodness. That's kind of putting me on the spot a wee bit, isn't it? My first action as committee chair I think I'll be going home, back into the O. I will sit down and I will really process this evening. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster for the last while. I've kind of kept it under wraps. And you know what? Because I've kept it under wraps and I'm not very good at keeping things under wraps, the first thing I'm going to do is celebrate with my team. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit in a chair and we're going to have a really, really interesting discussion about what we can do for the committee. That's my first action.
Excellent. That's very wise, I would say. Sounds good.
Yeah.
There's a second part to that question from Pete and Love, which is, Colin, will you be getting an Ardbeg tattoo? Now, there were all sorts of wild rumours going around about tattoos and Ardbeg tattoos, who's got them. Again, you never know. Watch this space. It's part of the induction. So.
I think we said that the second year into his tenure, there was going to be a live tattoo on air, Ardbeg tattoo, so watch this space.
Oh, dearie me. And then we've got a question coming from Stephen O'Connell. Are the connoisseurs tastings running again at the distillery? So we are running again tastings, Jackie, at the connoisseurs?
We're doing tastings at the moment. We are not quite doing tours. A little bit of that because of the commissioning of the brand new still house. So we're working on a really great tour route, and the team and I are working on a 2022 tour programme. But at the moment we're doing some really nice tastings. We're doing an old and rare, which is in the warehouse. We're doing a committee and festival one, and we're doing a core range one as well. You know, it's been such a different year, tricky for everyone, but we've had a fantastic time doing tastings, and really all the guys, Emma, Bryony, Ron, Craig, they've all thoroughly enjoyed doing tastings for all of you. So come and visit.
It's great to see people reappearing again there.
Yeah.
We've also got a question in from Alex Drat. Have there been any plans to expand, return the merchandise on the site? I'm pretty sure yes is the answer. We're looking at it. We hear you. We know people like to get the merch. You want to wear the Ardbeg badge with pride round the world. So it's happening. And another one, Jackie, question from Alex Rutzel. Will there be an Ardbeg with port cask maturing?
Oh, well, do you know, Alex, the answer to that is truthfully, I'm not sure. However, I love port, and once I've had my first action, which is talking to the team, the second one is Alex's Molly from Miami and Alex, both of you are going into the mix in terms of whiskies. I like the sound of that. I think that a big robust port and a big robust Ardbeg, you know, together they could really have a really lovely harmonious maturation. So let's look at that. Honestly, let's look at that. I'm going to make another note. Great for notes.
Yes. It's Axel. Apologies, I read that wrong. Sorry. But.
Oh, it's Axel. Sorry, Axel.
But the question coming in. This is a great question. Will there be a welcome bottling for Jackie as chair?
Oh.
And what would you choose, Jackie? What would be the dream bottle?
Oh, boy.
Did we allude to it there with the port, or is there something else you would like to see?
I'm a bourbon girl. I love a bourbon matured Ardbeg, and you know what? I love 10. We alluded to it earlier, and I think I'd really like to see a cask strength 10. knocking about. I think that would be quite a nice committee bottling. You know, it is the backbone of the distillery, the foundation of all our Ardbegs, and I think something cask strength at 10 years old from first fill refill bourbon with a little bit more refill. That would be my ideal bottling.
Sounds great.
Yeah, you approve?
Yep, absolutely. I think Tim would be a big fan of that earlier.
I think
He alluded to it. And with the last question from Jim Harris, he wants to know if we can have more Ardbeg, please. I think we would happily support that.
Yeah.
It seems like a fine way to finish. Absolutely, Jim. If there's more Ardbeg, go for it. But get what you can.
Great way to finish. Nice one, Jim.
Fantastic. So there you have it, folks. That's it. The AGM is now coming to a close. So I'd like to thank you all for joining us in our first run out for the virtual AGM. It's been an absolute blast. If there's anything else you'd like to see at future AGMs, let us know. We'd be interested. We're going to follow up with you all, get some feedback, and we'd really be interested to hear what you'd like to see as committee members. I would now like to just hand over finally to our committee chair for some parting wisdom. Jackie, over to you.
Wisdom. Wow, that has been a huge pleasure and great fun. We didn't know what to expect, but we've really enjoyed the last 45 minutes, 50 minutes or so with you all. Looking over the past year and revealing a little bit about what's to come. Hopefully what you've seen here today makes you want to join our tribe and our committee. As your new committee chair, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you, there's a little bit of formality that comes with this, of our mission statement, which was penned many years ago when the premise of the committee was that Ardbeg's doors would never close again. Imagine, just imagine. So refer to your rules and regulations. Now, things change and things have changed over the years. There's nothing more constant than change, but the mission statement remains, and it reads, I'm pausing for effect. No matter how near or far, we share a common purpose to celebrate the reawakening of Ardbeg and dispense drams to those deprived of the knowledge about the ultimate Islay malt. So to that, all I can say is go. Go, enjoy, share your passion, and spread the word of Ardbeg. We mean it. We really do want to welcome you back and grow this committee and have fun and enjoy this fantastic whisky. So thanks once again to everybody, all those wonderful names from all those amazing countries for tuning in. I am, as I said, chuffed to bits. It was a delight to share this with you.
Thanks,
I think we're going to be a good team, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And all we can say is a big cheerio. Till next time.
Cheers all. Thanks. Bye.
Whee! Oh.